And welcome to another Pike and Shot battle. This is another match against Nosy Rat. This time I have the Cornish Royalist, 1643 versus Parliamentarian, 1642. The Cornish Royalist list is pretty interesting. So our Cornish Royalist Pike and Shot is above average, so that's plus 25 POA and melee, and a slight boost to their firepower due to the men's steadiness, essentially. But they are still short of muskets. So they still, when it comes down to it, need to charge into contact, but they're a little better equipped to do so. We also have raw pike and shot, short of muskets for 26 points each. Cheap, but horrible. Separately deployed Cornish pikemen. So these are pike cales, at least until they go under something like 350, 340 men, at which point they just become a regular unit. But until they lose the cale status, they are at plus 100 on impact and melee against other pike and shot units. The Cavaliers are above average impact mounted, so much better than any cavalry that Nosy Rat can bring to play. So I don't think I will bother getting more cavalry. So we'll max on our pike and shot and our separately deployed Cornish pikemen. We also have some good light options, although they are a bit spendy. It's 38 points, but they're 250 man units of muskets, and they can evade. Pretty nice, but like I said, spendy. So I think whether I invest in those or not depends on what I think Nosy Rat is going to do. So being the host of the game, I deploy down here, so I should be able to seize this hill, most likely. So if he defends this hill, we could isolate him and cut him up. And if he defends here, he's on low ground, and it's just not a good line. So I suspect maybe the safest bet for him, other than an attack, is to hold here and then in the hedges surrounding this village here. If that's the case, we'll want light infantry to get him out of there. So with 88 points remaining, I need to decide if I want guns, if I want a little bit more cavalry, or if I want dragoons. I suppose I could get guns and dragoons. I could get medium artillery as well, but I don't really like bringing this slow artillery that has to limber up unless I know I'm going to be fighting a defensive battle, and I certainly do not know that. Although 16 points is a lot to leave in the bank. Suppose I could deploy here, trundle up, and station the guns here or something to have some line of sight. It's not ideal, though. I think I'd rather have the mobility, honestly. I don't really want to give up any of the infantry just to get more cavalry. So I don't like leaving so many points on the table, but I think I'm just going to do it. And deployment. Mostly open, some broken ground for our pikemen to watch out for. Good heights here. And the only real cavalry country is on the left. So I kind of have my doubts as to whether we'll be facing much cavalry over there, because you'll know that the open ground is not much use for his horsemen. Send these Royalist musketeers towards this forest. And I think I might risk a weaker right wing, just because I don't think there will be much there. Very good. A couple units of cavaliers on that flank. Our Cornish pikemen in reserve. More unit detached musketeers there. Something like that for starters. Deployment. To the left, as I suspected, but not defending the hedges. He's coming out to fight. Makes me feel kind of intimidated, honestly. Might get a chance to engage his cavalry head-on with our cavalry, although they are numerous and they've got commanded shot with them. Well, with that in mind, probably want to use our Cornish Royalist musketeers to plunge into the forest while the cavaliers line up for impact. Can't win the firefight, so we'll have to just hope to close into impact. I will use a unit of cavaliers to draw fire, while the others head to the left to help out their comrades. That's it. Next turn. Looks like we might straightforwardly run into each other in the center. Very good. Do I charge? They would just evade. Seizing this wood might be kind of useful. Fired once, that's fine. Now drive them out. Very good. The raw units will need the support of the Royalist pikemen, I think. Okay. Next turn. I hesitate to advance until you've cleared or neutralized the troops in this forest. I'm tempted to charge because the impact is fairly good, but the subsequent melee is not very good at all. Can either run away, expose these units to getting shot at, or stand and frag. Both kind of unsavory choices. I think we'll run away for now. Get this raw Pike and Shot unit involved. Start forming up a battle line. We're going to get outflanked a bit, so we need to make sure we don't wait too long to make contact. It might be useful to get these pikemen over here, because unlike Pike and Shot units, pure pike units can charge cavalry. Don't like confronting Pike and Shot units with light infantry on their own. It's kind of dodgy, but I need these disruptions. There. Now we can get ready for an assault. It's kind of premature, and I wish these units weren't wasting their time here. But at least it'll be kind of downhill. Next turn. That's unfortunate. He blocked my field of fire. I was hoping to frag this unit this turn. It'll cost his dragoons, but not sure. I think it was still worth it for him. Now he's put pressure on, he's within musket shot, so I'll have to start pushing. suppose I could fall back. Right, this is a tough situation then. Let's drive them off. Alright, our hand is forced. For Christ's sake, just get out of there. Maybe go that way. So we're going to try to delay here and push down the center. Our musketry is going to be ineffective because we've moved and we only have 50% muskets. So even though troop quality is +8, it's not, doesn't make up for the other deficiencies. Hoping that cohesion check would do the trick. It's a pretty ragged assault. Hopefully we'll maintain cohesion until contact. Not priority charge target, they are, and of course, so this is interesting. Command and shot adjacent to friendly non-light horse, so if we charge them, they get protected +100 on impact. And then in melee, we don't get our pistols. We do get our combat strength modifier. So they're a cheap way to slow down a superior cavalry wing. I think I need to take it easy until reinforcements arrive, and I can afford to tank a few rounds of fire from command and shot. They don't have very many men, are more likely to disrupt from the fire from the carbines. Okay, it's getting very dangerous. Next turn. That's too bad. So he's neutralized 2 of my units with command and shot. We should still get some cavalry charges. They held firm. Unless... Oh good. Excellent. So, again, unlike Field of Glory 2, engaged units still exert a zone of control. So we'll want to move here to free up this unit to move. And send them in. That was not what I had in mind. Better. Alright, let's see where that can take us. This could lead to good things or bad things. Let's bounce it. Well, we're very committed now. This unit, I need to decide whether I want to set up to flank these musketeers or start pushing this way. As much as I want to flank the musketeers, I think they're neutralized and we should push right. Here we go. Could even... Huh. I'm going to check the manual real quick of these commanded shot. Okay, so the commanded shot gain protection from cavalry, non-light friendly cavalry that are in any tile except the 3 tiles to its rear. So this unit is protected because there is a friendly cavalry unit to its flank. This unit would not count, but this unit does. This unit is unprotected because none of these 3 units are to its flanks or front. So the question is, do we want to go here to lock in this cavalry, or do we want to just charge? I think we just charge, because either way, when this unit breaks, this unit will pursue and charge this rear unit, exposing its flank to the lobsters. So we can't save this unit no matter what. So this is good. This is not good. And this could go either way, depending on what happens from gunfire. So pretty standard stuff for the Royalists to win the cavalry wing and have the infantry battle in doubt. Next turn. I was hoping they'd break. And we'll pursue off the field now. They had nowhere to run, so our cavaliers didn't pursue, which is both good and bad. Means we'll get control next turn, but I really could have used a charge into these lobsters. There we go. Set up the flank charge nicely. I did the same thing to me that I did to him in the corresponding match where we locked in these pikes with cavalry. That could help. So yeah, we're up 25 POA, but we've suffered too many losses from musketry, so it's basically even. And here, he's locked me in with these 12-point clubmen. What a shame. So we have no choice but to riddle them with bullets. I'm going to set up these light musketeers to get a flank charge next turn. It won't cause an automatic drop, but it might cause a drop just by casualties. I think I should just stay on this hill. And here, since we can't win a firefight, we'll get stuck in and just hope that one of our units rallies up soon. Guard against the flank threat, which is nice and all, but we're still going to get shot up. Looking kind of bad. I mean, we're up for now, but I think he's about to turn it around between this flank attack, our pikes being pinned, and the overall bad situation on our right. Not to mention the horrible things that could happen to these disrupted units. Next turn. Doesn't do me much good at this point. That could, though. Oh yes, very helpful. Excellent. Left that open. If they hold for a turn, it shouldn't be the end of the world. The numbers are good, but the situation is much more dangerous than those numbers show, as it tends to be. Right, get in. Fortunately, we need to guard our flank. Bit late for that. So now we have a choice. This unit can either fire or fall back and take a cohesion check, which would save it from getting flanked, but if it disrupts, then we would just get charged frontally. Both are bad, but I'm going to try the fall back, even though they're raw. Lucky. Maybe not so lucky. It's about to get very ugly. Next turn. Ooh, yep. At least we held firm. Do we rally here? That would be nice. No. The Cavaliers are likely to keep pursuing for a while, unfortunately. And on the bright side for Nosy Rat, his men are breaking in the direction of away from the infantry battle. So when we do regain control, it'll probably be too late for our cavalry to influence the fight. These two units should go soon. which will lead this whole wing to collapse. We went from up 18 to up 10 for the loss of these units, I believe. Yep, there we go. Ouch! Clip the tip off our formation there. The only consolation is that they got similarly enthusiastic. Right, lock them in, fire volley, and pound them with artillery. Okay, continue this. Massive waste of time. 12 points, pinning 40-something points, but I don't want to charge into the wood and get disordered. On the bright side, let's see. Good. Which frees up our musketeers to start contributing to getting these horse to die so slowly. Yeah, good work hitting my Cornish pikemen. At least they're fragged. Oh, but they held. That's too bad. So the enemy raw pike and shot have no melee POA now, where they would normally have pike 100 because they are fragged. And we also have our pistol melee 100 because they are unsteady. Normally we'd be at, so if these two units were steady, we would have 42 for troop quality and armor advantage versus 100 for pike, plus the combat strength modifier. Alright. That's it so far. Goodbye to our right wing. Getting a well played, so looks like it might be over. But we're only at 24, so is it over? Ooh. Ouch. These chain routes tend to happen more in Pike and Shot than Field of Glory 2, I think, for two reasons. One, there's a lot fewer superior quality troops running around, and two, units generally have taken very heavy casualties from musketry and the like, so they're more likely to fail cohesion tests, whereas in Field of Glory, most of the casualties are inflicted in melee, and often you have units getting flank attacked and broken that way. In which case they have enough men left over in the unit that they tend to be able to rally up later, or withstand cohesion tests. And there we go, 27%. It's over. Um, so, Nosy Rat told me at the end of the other match that he didn't know about the effect of the hedges at the start. So that's probably why he took an aggressive stance. I think the best call would have been to max on infantry, which I think he did mostly invest in infantry with a few extra cavalry units. Pile them into this hedge and on this hilltop with the flank anchored on this water, and maybe massed musketeers in this forest, right? So a line here to here with cavalry in reserve. And I still would have attacked just because, as a royalist, you can't really win a firefight. So I still would have had to charge, unless I wanted to sit here and invite a draw. But this isn't a tournament, we are here to fight it out. So had he stood there, I think he would have had a better chance because I wouldn't have had all these open terrain charges for my impact horse cavaliers. Uh, as it was pretty messy, especially when I piled all those raw units and lights on this right flank, and they got tore up pretty bad. In addition, he did a great job locking in one of my 40-something point Cornish Royalist Pike and Shot units with a 12-point unit of clubmen facing them in the forest, leaving me with the choice of either falling back and taking a cohesion check or just sitting there and shooting at them, because to charge in would put us on relatively even terms and leave my unit disordered but in the open for anyone that got close to them. There's also a small hiccup in the cavalry action where his commanded shot was not protected because it was in front of the cavalry and not next to it. The logic being that the musketeers gain commanded status because the cavalry is next to them in time to charge and intervene. If they're just in front, there's speed bumps. But I don't think that the game offers any like unit bar status indication of protection. I think you just have to know, and I don't think Nosy Rat quite did know. And to be honest, I didn't either. I had to stop and look it up in the manual. So as I said at the end of the other match, Nosy Rat's a much better Field of Glory 2 player than I am, and he's new to Pike and Shot. If he keeps that Pike and Shot, I'm sure he'll get better at it than I am. So hopefully we'll play again sometime. A good game to him, as always. And until next time.